everybody. We're getting ready for Tea and Tarot, where I go to the cards to see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Just waiting for everyone to connect. All right, so let's get started. Let's jump in. So I hope that you're all doing well. It's been a strange energy the last 2 weeks. It's been a little bit all over the place. So if you feel like you've been emotionally all over the place, that's okay. You're not crazy. You're not having a nervous breakdown. Just the energy has been a little bit jostly. And Shelley, yes, like some people have gone into a bit of a depression or had a hard time. And where we are in our part of the world, I think because of just being on another lockdown at that time, I know we're coming out of it, but that affected a lot of people as well. Not being able to interact with friends and family in the way that we normally can. And Family Day we had in Ontario just yesterday was sort of bittersweet for a lot of people because some people couldn't gather with their families. I know I couldn't see my guys, so that really sucked. But we're hanging in there, and I really do feel overall, like I know I haven't gotten to the cards yet, but overall intuitively, I feel like that this spring and summer is going to be a bit lighter than last year. And then when we move into next fall and winter, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier than this year has been. I think we are really through the worst of it and coming out the other side. So if you have been feeling really low lately or really struggling lately, just hang in there. Just do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself right now. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to do a lot of things. Just do whatever you need to do to get through the day. All right, just baby steps right now. Don't overwhelm yourself with a huge to-do list or beat yourself up for the things you didn't do that you thought you should do. Just be really gentle with yourself right now because we're all feeling it, and you could be at different stages of this. You might be having a great week and be feeling super charged with energy and be like, I don't know what she's talking about, and that's great. But I'm speaking right now to the people that have been struggling. Just hang in there. The energy has been a bit challenging, and that is magnified over the last couple weeks, whatever's been going on. So if you've been struggling, it would have magnified the struggle. If you've been feeling fantastic, it would have magnified that, okay? So we're coming into more of an even energy over the next 2 weeks is my overall feeling. I haven't gone to the cards yet, but we'll go there soon. So if you've been feeling rough, just hang in there. It will get a bit better. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This is kind of my social time. Every 2 weeks with all of you outside of the other classes I'm teaching. And I'm very grateful and thankful that you joined in this morning. So for those that are new, Tea and Tarot, every 2 weeks, I go to the Oracle cards. I use my intuition to bring messages through that are universal for everybody. But I like to say that if you have a question in your life or something you're struggling with, just kind of put that out there while I do the cards, because you might find a particular card comes up with a message that feels very specific to you. That can happen as well. But this isn't where I do a Q&A and you ask me about your life and specifics of that, because that would be entertaining for you but boring for everyone else. So this is more of a generalized reading. I do individual one-on-one sessions, like by a distance, and people can book that through my website. But this is sort of an overall, okay, what's coming for the next 2 weeks, what to expect, what to look forward to, that kind of thing. All right, so we're gonna jump in, and I always have a lot of decks, and some I rotate through, and today I haven't pulled from the Rumi deck for a while, and this deck was really excited to be here. Like every time I opened it, cards kept flying out of it. And I mentioned that in an Oracle card workshop that I did last Friday, that, you know, sometimes when you're shuffling the cards, or they might pop out of the deck or fly around the room, and always look at those cards that jump out, because they're usually the ones with the messages that are specific for you. So this deck really wanted to be here today. Okay, and the card that I just pulled is this beautiful red and pink card. It almost looks like a rose here. It's a very, there's a lot of activity and movement and reds and pinks, and it makes me think of Valentine's Day. I know we're sort of through the energy of Valentine's Day already, but this is, and the words on this card are passion for purpose, and I am drawn to the words in this card. And I've mentioned in the past, the way I read cards, I kind of see what pulls me first, the picture, the words. Sometimes I ignore the words and just go with the picture. And I'm being pulled down this tunnel, this sort of wormhole here. And I feel like she is too. See how her energy is starting to dissolve and melt and kind of go into that swirl? So I think this is where we all have to trust right now that the ride that we're on is actually an organized ride. And when I talk about the ride, I mean our ride in life. Like if we're on a roller coaster ride or whatever kind of ride you imagine it is, it might feel a bit chaotic. It might feel unorganized. It might feel like there's no structure to it and there is no spirit guiding this and we're on our own and it's all chaos. But in truth, it's very organized and it's very synchronistic and it's very purposeful. And we're being asked to sort of surrender to the process. So if you feel you've been struggling trying to make something happen in your life, banging your head against the wall and just like not getting anywhere, this is the time to surrender. This is the time for deep prayer and reflection and journaling and going within and really starting to ask yourself the question, what do I want? You know, we don't always ask that question, especially for those of us with lots of people in our lives that we care for. You know, we're sometimes at the bottom of the list, but this energy of this card is asking you, like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And if you don't know what you want, that's okay. But to start asking that questions, to start going into that, because Spirit wants to bring us where we want to go. But if we don't know where we want to go, then, you know, it's like getting on a train and not knowing which stop you're getting off at. And you just stay on the train, and I guess you just end up where you end up. So we're being asked to have a bit of purposeful direction, but we don't even need to know the direction, but we do need to start to cultivate an answer to the question of what it is we want, okay? And that is a big thing. And for those of you who don't know what you want, I get it, it's hard. So what you do is you start with, you know what you don't want. Okay? And sometimes like writing this stuff down, journaling is really powerful for helping you bring those inner thoughts outward. So I'm a big believer in journaling. I'm always talking about writing stuff down. You don't have to keep it. You can burn it. You can recycle it. You can do whatever you want with it, but just to help get it out of you. So we're being asked what we want from Spirit, and they're pulling us in a very specific direction. Like we are being pulled to our future. And so we need to have some kind of a direction or some kind of desire of where we want to go. And then Spirit is supporting us in that and pulling us towards it. So really powerful time right now while we're all snowed in, at least in our area in Ontario. Get in some cozy clothes, have a tea, do some journaling to help figure out what it is you want. And so Spirit can help pull you there. Okay? And also winter is that time of dreaming. It is that time of creating. I've mentioned that in episodes in the past, that this is the time. It feels like nothing's going on out there. And there isn't a lot going on in our lives too. Like we don't have outdoor things to worry about other than shoveling. So it is a great time to, you know, journal, take courses, like delve into your interests, read that book, you know, all of those things. This is the perfect time to do that. So the Rumi cards and Spirit are asking us to choose what we want, start to get clear on that. All right, I'm being pulled to Return of the Spirit. This is just to show you what the cover looks like. Cheryl Lee Harnish has 3 decks like this that I'm aware of. She might have more now, but they're fractal images. For those who are new to these cards, they're quite beautiful. I really like them. They do have numbers on them. They do have information in the guidebook, but I like going to them and just looking at the image. My cat wants to get in on this. Okay, Merlin. Okay, well. So Spirit has a sense of humor. You guys have probably noticed this already. Just moments ago, I was talking about the importance of journaling, and that helps us discern what we want. And look at the card that I just pulled, right? Literally. Okay, so get writing. Sometimes I'm lazy, I dictate into my phone instead of writing, but this is actually about writing. Like put that pen to paper. Actually, there's something about the physical activity of writing that gets you into your intuitive space. It's very powerful. So for those of you who are wanting to connect to your intuition or connect to yourself in a deeper way, taking the time to write or journal, even if it's only 5 minutes a day, is a very powerful practice. And if you talk to anyone, like if you talk to someone that you think is a successful person, however you determine success, chances are they're a journaler or they're a writer, or they take some time to at least write their goals down. It's magical. Okay, so we are being asked to write. So get on it. Get those notebooks, get those pens. And you know what? If you're not excited about writing, like get yourself a really nice pen or a really nice book. Like, make it a sacred part of your morning. Have your tea, have your coffee, take a few minutes, jot some notes down. It doesn't have to be structured journaling. It doesn't have to be done in any particular way, but the act of starting it will help you start to pick up on that intuition, and that will come through in your writing. All right, Marlon, you've got to, just got to move my cat here. I'm going on the deck he was laying on, Universal Love. Okay, these cards here, love these cards. For those who've been here since the beginning, you know that this is probably one of my favorite decks of all time. Yeah, doodling too, Lori, is absolutely. It's funny, I found a bunch of old notebooks from when I was in university years ago, and I had so many doodles down the margins, and there's something about doodling while you're listening that helps you process the information, because we deal with language and words a lot, but really symbols go into our brain in a deeper way. So when I did the, jump into 2021 workshop, we talked about that, creating a symbol to represent what you want to create this year. Sometimes that's more powerful than actually words. So this is funny because this is one of my favorite decks, because I actually really love the back side of the cards. Just reminds me of Glastonbury. It's just the world tree. Like, trees are so much a part of everything that I do, and the heart here and everything. So the card that I pulled this morning is literally like the card that, did you get it? They're not all like that. But this is the one I pulled. It's about the earth connection. And this has really been coming up for me a lot lately. So I imagine it's been coming up for all of you as well. Connecting to the earth. That's really the only thing that's going to get us through this. Okay? When you're feeling really overwhelmed and really tossed around and even physically unwell, like if you've got weird things going on in your physical body, the best thing to do is to connect to the earth. And there's lots of ways we can do that. I know it's winter. It's hard for some of us to get outside and do that, but really, like, spending time outside every day if you can. And if you can't, then just lay down on the ground, get a yoga mat, get a blanket, try to get on the ground if you can, and imagine you're outside and connect to the earth that way. The earth is a great big battery for us, and it will also help us release any heavy energy we don't need. The earth sort of magnetically pulls it into itself and uses that energy. Okay, so all of your junk isn't going to blow up the earth. It actually helps, like, by you releasing it to the earth. It's like fertilizer for the earth. So we're being asked to connect to the earth. And I know a lot of us like to connect to spirit and go up and out. I spend a lot of time up there. And that can cause us not being grounded. And I've talked about grounding in the past, but this card is more than grounding. It's not that we just need to be connected to the earth to be grounded to the earth. This is about connecting to the earth to hear the earth, to listen to the messages that are coming from nature. And honestly, going for a walk in the woods and just connecting to the trees is really powerful. A very powerful meditation. You'll probably get a lot of insight or answers about your life if you have confusion. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed or confused, as long as your legs work, go for a walk in the woods. It's honestly the best thing that you can do. And if you can't get out there to do it, because sometimes we have trouble doing the things that are good for us, especially when our energy's really low, then that's when you lay down on your floor and you imagine you're in the forest and ask the energy of the trees to help heal and balance you. That earth connection is really big right now. Yeah, Shelley reading your message. Yes, Merlin, he's a rascal. But yeah, he does check out the energy. And it's funny, when I'm teaching, pardon me, he's usually quite good. Like when we meditate, he sort of has a nap and all of that. But every once in a while, if I'm doing a distance client, he's flying around the room like a maniac. It's like he picks up on the energy, or he just, I don't know. He's a very funny cat. And he knows when I'm awake. Like, he knows the moment I wake up. He won't bug me before that, but as soon as I'm awake, he comes in for morning cuddles. He's very, like, telepathically connected. Okay, so this card here, this card here, it's Page of Cups. This card here, you can see that energy sort of pulling this person up and out, almost up and out of their body. It reminds me of that first card I pulled with that energy where that girl was being pulled down the wormhole. Like Spirit is literally like pulling us to another destination, and this is like pulling us up to a higher vibration, but it can feel very ungrounding. It can feel very like you're not in your body enough, like you're not grounded enough. But if you are connected to the earth, you are able to go higher. Sometimes people think if I'm too connected to the earth, I won't be able to hear my spirit guides, I won't be able to go up. That's not true at all. The more connected you are to the earth, the stronger your energy is, the more you can bring down from spirit. Some of the best channelers are very grounded people. All of the shamans I know that are amazing are really grounded people. Pardon me, I'm just gonna have some. I'm losing my voice a little bit here. I haven't talked to anybody for a long time. So it's like happening. But this is about allowing yourself to go where spirit's pulling you, but we also do need to be grounded as well, because you don't want to just be like flying all over the place, wandering willy-nilly. I find like I know I need to ground when I start getting really scattered and I have a hard time focusing on getting things done and I feel like I'm just sort of drifting. That's a sign that I need to ground. So just notice your body. Maybe someone's clearing their throat chakra today, guys. I'm sorry. More than any other energy center, this is the one that goes off when stuff's clearing. It's like, but anyway, just notice your energy. Notice when you're feeling ungrounded. When we ground, we're able to kind of get those daily tasks done, do those things in our life. When we're grounded, we feel more physically healthy as well. Sometimes when we're not grounded enough, we can feel a little bit like disconnected from our bodies, and that's when things can happen with our bodies that we're not aware of. So it's really good for your health to keep that connection, but at the same time, spirit is raising our vibration right now. So I think they're saying like, hold on, buckle up, ground as much as you can while we elevate you up to that next level. Okay, so if you're feeling like the effects of having that shift, sometimes people get headaches, sometimes people feel spaced out, a lot of ringing in the ears, just kind of a weird groggy feeling, then ground. That will help you go through it a lot smoother, because I think collectively we're all being ramped up over the next 2 weeks. So I've gone to the Ask Your Guides cards. I actually really love these cards. I never read this book. I mean, I know a lot of people that read this book, but I've kind of go direct to my guides. It's a great book though, like if you're wanting to connect to your intuition, but she's got these amazing cards and I really like them. It's a great deck if you're looking for a deck to start with. So this card that we pulled here is about purpose, which seems to be the overall theme of today. It's like really getting clear on your purpose or what you're on the planet to do. And if you don't know what that is yet, that's okay, but we're being pulled towards that. So you're going to get more information and insight with regards to that over the next couple of weeks. And this has also got a master teacher here. So sometimes it does help if you have somebody, a mentor, a teacher, a friend, a loved one who can help you figure that out or can help you with new skills or learning new things. And this could just be a book. It doesn't have to be an actual person. But we're being asked to get a little clearer on our purpose, and it's okay to ask for help from the people around you. So, like I said, mentors, teachers, colleagues, loved ones, books, resources. Spirit is working with us, and you might find that spirit actually brings that master teacher to you or that person to you that can help get you there. Once we set the intention and put it out there, everything starts to fall into place and get into motion. So if you do feel you need help with that, just send that out to the universe, and then you'll find messages will start coming to you almost straight away. And it could even just be in the lyrics of a song. Sometimes I have people say, oh, I got this song in my head. I woke up with this song in my head, and it's so weird. I haven't listened to this song in 20 years, and why is it in my head? When that kind of random stuff happens, sometimes Spirit's sending you messages with the lyrics. Or you might have had a question going on, what should I do about such and such? And then all of a sudden this whole song pops in your head, and you're like, holy cow, that's so weird. It's very connected. So just keep open for those signs that we're always getting from Spirit. Communication. I think I'll have to go back through the files of some of these episodes because I literally think I have pulled this card almost every single time I pull from the mermaid deck. Like, what are the chances? Communication. So we're still being asked. Communication is key right now. And I think communication, I think honestly, this card could be our annual theme card because with coronavirus and the lockdowns and the not being able to connect in the normal way that we do, there has been a breakdown in communication and a breakdown in connection as well. And this card is asking us to be clearer in our communication. So don't assume that when you like tell somebody something or send them a message that they've received it. Okay, like never assume that, or don't assume they understand it. This card is coming up. I feel the message behind it today is about the need to repeat yourself, maybe several times to a person until they actually understand what you're saying. And try not to get frustrated about that. It might be that they just really can't understand what you're saying, or maybe they need to hear it several times. Maybe they need to hear it in different ways, but communication is key. So if you have communicated with someone and haven't gotten a response, assume they didn't get it, send it again. Or if you are having trouble in your relationships communicating, you feel like you're not being heard or understood, just try a different approach. Try giving the information in a slightly different way, but don't give up because communication is a bit kind of on the fritz right now. It will get better, but we're being asked to just be really clear in all of our communications, like as clear as you can in a kind way, but as clear as you can. All right, next deck. So we're going to the Spellcasting Oracle deck, which I wasn't too sure about when I first cracked this one open, but it's grown on me. It's got some interesting cards. Okay, I'm pulling the Family card. And, for those who live in my area, this is not a shocker. We had Family Day yesterday. Family is on the minds of a lot of people right now. But I think this year, especially with all the challenges we've had, the whole family dynamic has really changed. And sometimes it's changed in a positive way, and sometimes it's been really challenging for people because we have been interacting with people in different ways than we're used to. For some of us, we have been around our family more than we ever have before. And for others, we feel really isolated from our family unit right now, depending on what your living situation is. And so, but this card is asking you to stay connected to your family. Okay, so even if you're living with everybody and seeing them 24/7 and everyone's driving everyone crazy, try to find a way, like maybe weekly, to connect in a different way. Maybe it's a weekly game night. Maybe everybody makes the meal together. Maybe you go on an adventure outside. Maybe it's you connecting to your family that's all scattered. Like for me, I'm trying to do a weekly Zoom call with my boys who are all off at school in different places, and it's like herding cats, but I keep trying to do that so at least we can all connect together. So this card is asking you to like maybe take charge of pulling your family together. It's funny, like a friend of mine years ago, I used to say there in every family unit there's like somebody who's in charge of keeping everyone together, like that person who arranges the gatherings or always has them at their house or always checking in on everybody, and every family has that person that does that. But this card is asking us to be that person, at least temporarily, to make the effort and to reconnect with our family. And family can be friends too. It can be the family you choose. If you feel like you're not really connected to your family for whatever reason, maybe they're not on the planet anymore, maybe you've just never had a really strong connection with them, this card could also mean your chosen family, your friends, your good friends. So staying connected, you taking the onus on that. Don't get upset if people aren't reaching out to you. This is about Spirit's asking us to be the one to reach out. Okay, so animal cards. Okay. I kind of want to go outside and make a snowman. I've been busy lately. Like I know Mercury's in retrograde and we were on lockdown and not a lot's going on, but I've been like busy doing so many things that I'm kind of like, I almost don't want the world to open up again because I'm not done my stuff. Like can we have another 2 weeks of vacation? All right, so I'm going to the animal card deck here. All right, and this is is a cool card. I don't think I've ever pulled this one. Grasshopper Spirit. Grasshoppers come to me. Grasshoppers to me are student energy. It's that energy when you're learning something new. And because sometimes when you learn that something new, it really helps you take that quantum leap forward. Like, yes, we can get there on our own and we can figure it all out on our own. But sometimes when you take a course or read a book or have a conversation with someone, you have that, like, your brain fires in different new ways, and you have those aha moments that take you from A to B quite quickly. So I think this card is about being open to those miracles, being open to that information. Yes, you might know a lot of things and you're kind of set in your beliefs, that's fine, but being a little bit open to the new things that are coming your way. I feel like for some of you, you're going to be learning something new, and it might be something very different than what you thought, but just be open. There might be courses or workshops or books kind of coming your way that are going to shift you in a different direction. Maybe I feel it will be surprising. I feel it will be like, wow, I really love this thing. I didn't know I loved this thing until I tried it. So just be really open, because this is like all about creative energy and taking that leap forward. So for some of you, it might be a creative endeavor that helps you shift forward. For some of you, it might be an intuitive thing or something with your health, but there's something new coming that is going to feel a little bit different than what you're used to, but it's going to really help shift you along. So just be open to that. So if you're having a conversation with someone and you're like, this is a weird conversation, but it might end up really shifting something. I'm going to the romance angels. So some of you have questions about your love life. I'm feeling, because this deck was sort of jumping around over there. So I'm like, okay, so we'll see what they say. And I honestly think it's a really hard time if you're single, or maybe in a relationship that's difficult. Like, it's really sort of, the whole year has put pressure on all of those things. So this card is about, I'm not looking at the words, I'm kind of looking more at the picture here, but it's about really enjoying yourself. Really enjoying yourself, really getting into the moment fully with something. So you can see she's smelling the rose, and she's just sort of, if somebody snuck up on her, she probably wouldn't even know, because she's so much like just smelling the rose and just like really loving the pleasure of smelling the rose and enjoying it. So this card's coming up to really like lose yourself a little bit in that, in the pleasure, in the enjoyment of life. You know, like if you're eating some chocolate, like really love the chocolate, like really like be present with it and enjoy it instead of just eating it mindlessly. You know, if you're having a conversation with somebody, being really present with that person. Like, don't think about what you're going to say next. Just sit and just really actively listen. And so this is coming up to do with our relationships. So with your relationships, try over the next couple weeks really enjoying those times with your person, really being present with them. But this is also about yourself too, like really enjoying those moments with yourself, like taking time to smell the roses, have a really luxurious bath, like really just sort of allow yourself to enjoy and feel the wonderful pleasure in whatever it is you're experiencing, instead of just mindlessly doing it. Because I think sometimes we just get into a mindless thing, like I'm eating this because I have to eat this, and I'm drinking this because I have to drink this, and I'm doing these things, and I'm not really like in any of it. This card is asking us to be present and really enjoy what we're doing and what we're experiencing. And that might shift things. So for some of you who've been struggling in relationships, maybe just the active listening is really going to shift things with your partner. Because we can tell if someone's distracted. You know, if you're talking about your day and your partner just wanders out of the room and goes and does something, then that gives you the sign that your life's not important. You're not important. They've just totally ignored you. And if you're listening to them, then you might get angry and resentful that they're not giving you the same courtesy. So instead of complaining about that, this card is asking us to just go that extra mile and be extra present with your person, in the hopes that they will also do that for you. But also about really enjoying those things. So, okay, now cards are flying everywhere over here. I'm going to Keepers of the Light deck next. These ones were jumping out. And this is a new deck to me. Some of the cards stick together. Oh, Archangel Michael. What have you for us? Okay, so Archangel Michael. When I look at this card today, I'm drawn to his gaze and his eyes, and it's like he's saying, what are you doing? Like in terms of, stop it. Just trusting spirit. We're being asked to trust spirit, and it's like he's asking us to stop being silly about worrying about silly things and trying to like micromanage the universe. Like there are some things we can actively do here and other things we just need to surrender to that higher power. So this card is asking us to like rely on prayer or rely on trust. Take care of the things that you can do here, but those big things that are overwhelming you, that you're really struggling with, just take them and imagine you're handing them off to spirit and saying, you know, Archangel Michael, ask him specifically. He's showing up. Say, Archangel Michael, this is too big. Take this, whatever it is, and just work it out up there. Let me know what to do down here, but I can't like micromanage all this stuff. So we are being asked to trust in spirit, trust in that process, and to let go of a lot of that stuff that we're trying to control and fix and figure out, okay? It's overwhelming. Just let it all go to spirit. Imagine how freeing that would be if you just gave it all over to spirit and just said, here, take it all. And today I'm just going to go make a snowman outside and like, I'll wait for your messages. Like seriously, we're being asked to do that. And he's got the gaze of like, what are you doing? Like, why are you torturing yourself? Why are you trying to do everything by yourself? You have this whole team of spirit around you. You keep forgetting they're there and you keep forgetting to ask them for help. We're here. Like, give us the heavy stuff. Give us the heavy stuff. We're here for the heavy lifting. So reminder, you don't have to do anything heavy yourself. You have that team, okay? For some of you who've dropped on, I'm just seeing in the comments, the tea and tarot that I do every 2 weeks is general messages for the whole group and the energy of what's coming in the next 2 weeks. I do private one-on-one sessions if you have specific questions, but this format is more for group messages. Just wanted to clarify because sometimes people hop on and they don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's go to Life Purpose Oracle because I feel like those ones want to come out and play. So I feel like in the group, there's a lot of you who've been struggling and really overwhelmed with heavy stuff because when I connected to that Michael card, I could kind of feel everybody's energy. So really, like, whether you journal through it or not, just kind of like take at least 80% of your stuff and just offer it to spirit as a prayer, or just say, I can't do this. Just please take this. And then just be open to whatever happens, because you'll find there will be messages that will come to you with different things in your reality. So just be open to the signs that spirit brings you. You will get clarity. You absolutely will get clarity. And if you need clarity and ask for clarity, you will receive it. Sometimes it can come in a little bit of a big blow up your life way, but you'll definitely get it. Okay, so this is all about using our voice, which is funny because mine's been kind of crazy today, but about not just keeping it all in here, because we do have a lot in here. And I feel like this card is especially for those of you out there who work in a helping field or in a field where you are required to share information or energy with other people. We are being asked to ramp up kind of what we're offering or how we're being of service and to speak about it. So for those of you who are uncomfortable in public speaking or maybe sharing through writing or other ways, or it could be that you're even just starting a business and working on a website and having trouble putting that out there. This card is like, it's time for that. It's time for you to kind of get out of your container and start sharing with everybody around you. Okay? So stop being that playing small, because you're not helping anybody by keeping all your good stuff up here. It's time to like share it. And this could just be sharing with a friend, like having a conversation and you actually just share from the heart. But we're being asked to not censor ourselves anymore. We're meant to share our wisdom with others because it can be really helpful. And that might be sharing your story. with other people. And I mean, this message is for me too, right? Because I'm a very private person. Like, I do share things about my personal life sometimes, but there's a lot of things that, like, a lot of people in my life don't know about me. Like, just not anything terrible. But I mean, if I ever wrote a book about my life, I think some people would be like, holy crap. So I just might do that. It's very entertaining. Lots happened in my short time on the planet. But, you know, sometimes sharing our story, we might do it here and there in a small way, like one-on-one with clients or friends. But this is, we're being asked to like be more vulnerable and open to doing that with other people. Because sometimes, oh, what was the quote? I saw this the other day. It was something like a page in your life book or your life story of what happened to you could be a page in someone else's How to Survive Life manual. Kind of like what you went through and what you experienced, that experience can help somebody else through some of their darkness, because it could just be like knowing that you came out the other side, you know, that you survived something could really help someone. I remember when I was pregnant with twins, I was freaking out because I had a 14-month-old when I found out I was pregnant with twins. And I'm like, and it was not planned. And I'm like, well, how am I going to do this? And I joined a mom's group in my local area, a bunch of twin moms. And I was pregnant at the time. I was like gigantic. And I went to the meeting and I met these other moms of twins, and they all looked like they had it together. None of them, you know, drove their car into the river. Like, they all got through it okay. And they gave me lots of tips and lots of things. And I thought, oh my God, I can get through this. I'm going to survive. And even with me too, like, I was huge. Like, I gained about 95 pounds when I was pregnant with my twins. And there was one little tiny twin mom in the room who looked like she got in her jeans like the week after she had her babies. And I thought, well, even that's hopeful that my body's going to return to normal, some kind of normal. But reaching out and connecting to that group literally helped me, because those women had gone through it already. I was pregnant with the twins. They had already had theirs come out the other side. They had survived it. And that really like helped me. And my twins came early. They were 6 weeks early. They were in neonatal. There was some stressful stuff. But because I had connected to that group ahead of time, I knew I could get through it. I knew I had that support. So sometimes sharing your story with someone can be really helpful and empowering for them. And I think sometimes we discount that. We think, oh, I haven't gone through anything in life, or I don't really know that much. Well, you do, just by virtue of being on the planet. I'm sure you've all gone through something that has caused you to, you know, pull up all your courage or all your energy, or just the fact that you got through or survived something, whether it was an illness or relationship stuff or work stress, or, you know, changing your financial situation. Like, we all have these things that we go through. And once you go through it and come out the other side, those become like your gifts that you can share with other people. So don't discount the value of the experiences that you have had. Spirit's asking us to start to share them with other people to help them through their stuff, because everybody's going through their stuff right now. And I think with the isolation, we all feel alone, like we're all struggling on our own. And in fact, everybody is struggling in their own unique way. And so sometimes talking to somebody who's come out the other side can be really helpful. Yeah, like, it's just even like someone going through an illness. I remember when I was really sick in my 20s, a lady reached out to me, and there was an article in the paper about it and stuff. And a lady called me up, and she had exactly what I was going through and survived it, which I really needed to hear, because at that time my doctors were like, forget about it, right? So I was like, oh my God, it's possible. So you just never know how you can affect somebody in a really positive way. We all have our gifts within us. So Spirit's saying, like, let them out. Okay? Small way, big way, write that book, whatever it is. So I'm going to the Work Your Light Oracle cards now. We'll see what we get. Well, right? Don't dim to fit in is the word. So it's really like about like letting yourself out there, letting yourself shine. Don't hide your light to make other people comfortable. We've all heard that quote, right? This is about you being yourself and being okay with being yourself, because you are beautiful and unique just the way you are, but no one's going to know those things about you if you hide yourself. So let yourself out there in whatever way. And it might be really uncomfortable. It might be terrifying. I mean, I've told you guys before this whole COVID thing, I never did any live video stuff ever, like awful. And it made me do it. And some of you like it. So, so hey, you just never know. Someone's going to like your weird stuff. So just put it out there. Don't dim to fit in. Be your weird ass self. All right. Okay. One last deck before we go to our angel wing ones. I want to hear about all your weirdness and how you're gonna be doing things out there in the world. And especially if you're a little afraid. I think if you have a little trepidation or a little bit of fear, that's good. That's a sign that you're stretching your comfort zone. Like, don't do anything so terrifying that, it's going to kill you, but it's good to have a little bit of fear and push through it, because that's how you grow. Okay. So this one is about words, and it's about patience. This card's coming up to say to us, yes, take the action, do what you need to do, but also trust, because there's that divine right timing. So Spirit's really working with us right now to move us forward. And for some of us, it's going to feel very fast moving forward. And for some of us, it will feel too slow. But we will get where we're going. And my feeling on that is 6 months. I don't know why I'm getting 6 months, but for some of you who've been really struggling, I feel like 6 months from now, you're going to feel like you've arrived. It might happen before that, but just hang in there. Keep going with the baby steps, with the small movements. Just keep on trucking. 6 months, it's going to feel like a weight is lifted and you'll be able to move in different directions, whereas it might feel a bit restricted up to that point. Yeah, it feels like it is connected to what's going on in the world a little bit too, but we're still meant to take action right now. It's not like we're supposed to sit around and do nothing and wait. Like, there's still a lot of action you can take, even if things aren't moving forward as quickly as you'd like. So it's not a free pass to just Netflix binge for the next 6 months. It's about like starting to think about what you want, moving forward with that, but understanding that Spirit is also working with a timeline too. So for those of you looking for love, it could be like, where's my future partner? I'm doing all these things. I'm online. I'm talking to all these crazy people. Where's my future partner? 6 months or under, but just be patient, because you'd rather wait and have the right person arrive than have the wrong person and be stuck in that mess. Believe me, you don't want the wrong person. Okay, I'm pulling these little angel cards I do at the end. I pull a gold wing, silver wing, and then the two circles, which represents like timing on it usually. So this is time to declutter and simplify your life. So use that time where you're feeling stuck and nothing's happening to clean out a closet. And I need to do this too. I need to Marie Kondo my clothing. Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, I've got some clutter. So clear your clutter. That really helps freshen the energy in your house. Spring cleaning can be done in the winter. Just do it. Pick a room, pick a small junk drawer. Don't get overwhelmed with it. Pick something small and then expand out from that. Be faithful and loyal to people and causes. So I think this is also about being faithful and loyal to yourself and understanding what you stand for and what you believe in, and standing behind that, actually taking a stand on that, or supporting those groups or causes that represent where your heart is, and banding together with those people. Even if it's just like a positive comment on Facebook, it doesn't mean you need to be donating a lot of money or time to different organizations, but it's just like align yourself with your tribe, with your people who are in alignment with where you're going and what you want to offer the world. So the key is July, and about taking charge of a situation. So maybe a bit under 6 months, but something's going to happen in July for some of you where things will solidify and you'll feel like you're in more control of things, or that things are actually solid then. So that's all I got for today. So I hope that for those of you who are getting the snow that I'm getting, I hope that you have time to play in it. And take some time to journal. And if you hate journaling, then just get yourself a sweet little notebook and, title it like My Dreams of the Future, whatever you want to do. And when you have your tea in the morning, just take 10 minutes and just write a few words down there. That will really help get things going. It will really help you connect to Spirit. And the biggest message of today, I think, is like, let your stuff go. Call on Archangel Michael and let all your heavy stuff go to him. Okay? He came, he wants it. So let him have it, and then just let spirit help sort all those big things out. Get them out of your head and just have some fun today, guys. Okay? I love you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. If you want to see me before then, I've got lots of courses and things happening, so you can go on my website, circleoflightwellness.com, and see all the stuff that's coming down the pipe. And yeah, in the meantime, have fun. I love you guys. Thanks for coming.